While driving today, I had some conversations. I had some time to think. And it got me thinking about why we all make the goals that we do, why we do what we do in general. You know, your goal doesn't have to be something as much as like gaining muscle, losing weight, some sort of health thing. Everyone has their different goals, and no one goal is more or less worthy or valuable than anything else. I'm a big supporter of celebrating your victories, little ones, big ones, whatever you go through, right? A victory is a victory, in my opinion. Whether you quit smoking, whether you quit drinking, whether you lose some weight, whether you dig yourself out of financial disparity, whether you get a new job, whether you go back to something that was familiar but works for you, whether you find a passion, getting a little better at a vocation, getting a little better at a hobby, learning a new song on guitar, whatever your thing is. All these things don't have less value because they're not important to other people. All these things don't have less value because you can't throw up a video online or put a quick post on Insta or any of that kind of stuff. Everything matters. You assign value to your goals, to your everything, right? A lot of times when we think about these things, we're always talking about what other people think about those things. We tend to, because by nature, humans are tribalistic. So no matter who you are, most humans judge how well they're doing by how other humans look at how they're doing. And so that's why we look to things like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all these things, and we like to read our little comments and stuff like that and get our little hits of dopamine about how great we're doing and pats on the back and stuff like that, right? But not all journeys can involve a Facebook post that anyone's going to understand. And not all videos are going to really put forward the amount of feeling or emotion or what the satisfaction of getting through some things. Fighting your whole life with poor credit or poor financial status to finally working your way up to being comfortable, not worrying about your bills, stuff like that. There's no post for that. That sounds like a gloat and a stupid flex to most people. But to some people, that's everything. To some people, for like me, I've been heavy my whole life. For as far back as I can remember, I've been heavy. And for me, my goal is health and wellness, but also, I want to lose weight. I want to be skinnier because I don't know what it's like. And it's like undiscovered territory for me. I also got back in a truck, so I'm trying to stay healthy while I go here and drive around out here and do this, which is a lot of sitting. So it requires you to manage your health in different ways. Whatever you're doing, if it's important to you, it's important. Don't forget to celebrate those little victories. Set yourself small little goals and work towards them gradually. And every time you meet one of those goals, sit and bask in the accomplishment for a second, guys. Don't wait for other people to tell you how worthy your goals are that you accomplished. Don't wait for validation from friends and family or strangers or whatever. We put so much value in other people's opinions that sometimes the one person we forget to value their opinion is ourselves. We all die the same way we're born, alone. Like, that's sad, but that's true, folks. When you're first born in this world, the only person up here is you. And the only person that's going to be there on your deathbed, even if you're surrounded by your loved ones, is you. So keep your own counsel. Set your own course. And be your own biggest fan. Be proud of yourself. Celebrate your victories. Find your energy. Don't feel bad because people don't understand your journey or your suffering. If you're going through stuff, don't expect people to understand it. If you're putting yourself through something, don't expect people to know why you're doing it or even treat you like you're sane. Stuff that seems perfectly rational to someone who's trying to accomplish something, a lot of times seems crazy to other people. And most of the time it's not because they think you're crazy, really. I mean, the world is full of so many different people having so many different experiences. And reasonably speaking, we're all living in a different world. Perception is most of reality. right? And if we're all perceiving the same reality in a different way, that means there's, I don't know, 3.6 billion different realities out there, lives being lived in different ways, in different places, experienced in all the colors of the rainbow, folks. But that also means that you can't trust other people's opinions, because when they're telling you you can't do something, when they're telling you that trying to accomplish this goal is crazy or they can never do that, they're not saying you can't do it. That's not what that's about. Everybody, and I mean everybody, paints their opinion with their own paintbrush. But their set of paints and your set of paints are completely different. They don't know what you're capable of. They know what they're capable of. That's their metric. Every single person only knows what they can do. You know what you can do. They know what they can do. And everybody tries to think that how they see the world is the standard. That's the problem. There's really not a standard, not in the way everybody thinks, because everybody's standard's different. What everyone's capable of is different. And what seems totally irrational and crazy to some people seems perfectly doable and natural to others. I don't have an addictive personality, so I've smoked in my life and gave up smoking, and it didn't seem like an accomplishment to me, because when I didn't smoke, I just decided I wasn't going to smoke anymore, and it wasn't a big deal. And there's other people out there that chain smoke like crazy people and can't live without a cigarette when life stresses them out. For the most part, I've always tried my best not to ascribe a feeling to a habit, because the few times I've had that happen are times when things kind of go off the rails. You know, most of the problem comes from when you attach a feeling to an activity. Now, that being said, that same thing can be used to keep you on track, because that feeling of accomplishment, it can still give you that rush, that high, that little bit of dopamine up here that your brain's telling you love that feeling. That's that runner's high. That's that rush people get when they're in the gym. That's that, that good feeling you get when you taste good food. All those things, that joy buzzer in your head, that pleasure center of your brain, it's all the same nonsense painted in different ways. That's all it is. I mean, you're exciting the same part of your brain when you're eating cheesecake as you are when you're smoking a cigarette or doing cocaine. Like, they've shown that all those things ignite the same part of your brain, because at the end of the day, as humans, we're all out there chasing pleasure. We're chasing about what feels good, right? And we all know we'll do whatever we can to get to what feels good. But if for a second you can attach that feel-good response onto something healthy or onto something positive, well, now that's the trick. That can make it easier to accomplish these things that seem impossible to other people. I did keto for a little while. When I first did my first big weight loss, I lost 100 pounds on keto. And at the time, I was very proud of myself. Now, I've since moved away from that because, again, I'm on vegetarian now, because I realized when I stopped losing weight on keto, I realized the high fat, high sodium, the way the diet was, if you're not even losing weight on it, it's not healthy. It's not sustainable. It doesn't feel like it, at least. So I got off of that. But at the time, that feeling I got from losing weight was amazing. It's like nothing else in the world. But when you talk to other people about it, you try to tell them there's this thing you can do. And if you want to, it can get you there. It's a vehicle, but most people said the same thing to me. Well, I love bread. I couldn't imagine my life without bread. Or, man, but I like eating noodles and pasta way too much. And those are choices people make. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. That just means that it's impossible for that person. Everyone has their own line, I sit and talk with Heather, my partner. She always talks to me about, her favorite saying that she heard through a video she watched. Somebody say, and I'm sure everyone's heard it before. If you're out there and you're struggling, choose your hard. Everybody chooses their most difficult thing in life. Everybody chooses that thing, that line they can't cross because it's too much. So choose your hard. You know, you can either have a hard day where you feel horrible, lazy, lethargic, gross on the inside, or you can have a hard day because you had a hard day sweating and putting in the time and the effort to be better. You can have a hard time sitting at home, being bored, not going out and partying, not spending your money on frivolous things so that down the road, you can spend that money on something worthwhile like a house or a car. Or you can have a hard time going out and spending that money on that bottle of Jack, on that pack of cigarettes, you know, on any number of bad habits that you might have that are going to leave you feeling great in the short term and horrible in the long term. It's all about choosing which hard you're okay with. That's what it's about. And for some of us, we relish the thought of a challenge or the chance to be better than we were yesterday because we found out the secret is that one way or another, you're going to go through difficulty. But it's better to go through a difficulty that leads you to a positive place. Don't let the back chatter and the sideways glances and the weird looks at Christmas and all the other things in your life from the people you know and care about keep you from doing the things you want to do. It's your existence. It's your trip around the sun. This is the only one you get. And you can either live your life praying that the people around you don't think you're a weirdo or be uncommon around common people. You don't have to be like everybody else to get along with everybody else. If you want to live differently than other people, it requires accommodation from you, not other people. Don't expect the rest of the world to bow down at your feet to accommodate your life choices. Don't expect the whole world to change just because you're there. Make sure that you can make the accommodations for yourself to do the things you have to do every day to stay the course. Because that's important. Staying the course is the biggest, most important thing you could do in any journey. Anything you're trying to do. And remember, it doesn't have to be something you get accolades for. It doesn't have to be something people pat you on the back or comment on your Facebook or any of that stuff. I don't do this really so I get comments from you guys or anything like that. I do this to keep myself honest because I realize at the end of the day, if I sit here and I tell you guys, this is what I'm doing, that I have a goal and I'm not going to give up. And then tomorrow I sit down and eat a box of Twinkies. You get to say I told you so, and I get to look like an asshole. Well, I don't like looking like an asshole. So this keeps me on course, keeps me honest, and keeps me focused. Now, I also hope seeing me struggle, seeing me try, seeing me put in effort, and listening to these messages, sometimes maybe 1 in a million people might hear this and realize that there is another way to be, and they're not the only ones struggling with something. You know, I get all my positivity from books and videos and motivational speeches and the people I love in my life who bring positive energy into my life and good vibes. And even a little bit of it is from faith. You know, you have to find your reason to get up every morning and keep trying. No one's going to do it for you, but it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. But stop trying to wait for somebody to give you your reason. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for the sun to shine. Stop waiting for weather to be perfect. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because you will spend the whole of your existence waiting for a perfect moment that's never going to show up. Conditions aren't perfect. They're never going to be perfect. I always remember listening to Andy Frisella say that the first time I listened to one of his videos. You know, you gotta take your chances. Rain, shine, cold, hot, tired. Nobody feels like going to the gym. No one feels like going on a diet. No one feels like not eating steak. But is that bite of steak worth cancer? Is all that sitting on the couch worth pain in your legs, not being able to walk, diabetes, heart disease, any of that stuff? Is that night at the bar worth you not making a car payment? You know? You're defined by your choices, the things you decide to do and the things you decide not to do. You're not defined what people think about those things, though. Keep your own counsel. Stay the course. Stay focused and stay strong out there, folks. And I promise you that you'll feel better about yourself than you ever have before, chasing likes or hoping people feel better about what you're doing or waiting for someone to approve of you. Because there's no amount of approval from people, loved ones or strangers, that's going to make you feel better about a situation you aren't comfortable in. You have to find the strength in yourself to be comfortable and happy in the hell that you put yourself in. Remember that. Stay strong. Don't give up. And keep watching, guys. All right? I'm going to keep posting as long as I can keep doing this. You keep me honest. And if you got anything to say back, fire back. I'm here. All right? Take it easy, guys. Have a good night.